Ken is like, I need to look pro.
It's showtime.
And today we have a shocking, unbelievable, and the most magnificent guest ever, and that is Ken. True.
And like another thing was like just recreational reading, because like they got books on books there. Like you go in there, and there's just like books on every topic. Like, oh wow, look, there's a book on like Greek-Roman relations back in whatever century BC. We might have to get the mop and bucket, pick up the tears off the floor.
It's cool.
I tie my boots and I take one step outside and wait for the snow to cover me in a snowbank, and I walk all the way there sheltered.
I'm happy that you like that place. I've been there.
I don't like it. I thought you said.
Oh, sorry. Don't like it. I agree. Chop chop. I agree. Hi guys, welcome to our podcast again here today. And today we have a shocking, unbelievable, and the most magnificent guest ever, and that is Ken. So I've seen him everywhere, and I'm sure you've also seen him everywhere on Discord, and you probably don't have a name to that face. And here it is. This is Ken. I actually have him in a lot of my statistics classes, and I'm really glad to have known him over the last semester. And I'm so glad that I was finally able to find his contact on Discord and bring him into the podcast.
Yeah, I'm just that hard of a feller to track down, I guess.
Well, yes, I couldn't find you anywhere on Discord, to be very honest. It was a tough tracking to do.
Well, the fact you did, I guess it means I got to step it up.
Yes, you've got more work to do up there. Okay, so before we actually talk about getting to like actually finding you and tracking you down, do you want to tell everybody who you are, what you're doing, what year you're in, and how's life?
Sure. Well, I'm Ken. I am a applied computing major. I am doing my focus in data analysis, which is essentially just computer science for people who like statistics a little too much. And I am going into my fourth year, and life's doing pretty well right now, I would say. Aside from the tracking part of it, but...
But how's summer in general, though? Are you enjoying summer?
Summer's pretty good. Like, I managed to get out of town for a while, go to the lake, do some fishing.
Mm-hmm. Are you like a fishing person then? You like fishing?
A little bit of fishing, yeah. I don't get to do it much because we don't have a boat, so it's either that or you go and find the busiest freeway and you're sitting there trying to catch a fish and an 18-wheeler flies by. That's real fair. Fun.
Yeah, so you're not actually part of this, you're not from the city, I suppose.
No, I am from outside of Saskatoon in Moose Jaw.
Ooh, okay. So when you first moved here, like how different were things?
Well, I moved here during COVID, so everything was kind of locked down. I was living in the residence. I believe it was Athabasca Hall, I believe I was in. And that place was very special.
Oh.
I remember that my next door neighbor in the res, he was a real character. And one day I walk out and there's a picture of a certain president on the door.
Oh.
And I came back from breakfast and it was gone.
Oh.
And yeah, it was something during that time, I must say.
You just had an interesting neighbor, I suppose.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's one way of describing it.
Did you enjoy living in Athabasca then?
Not particularly, honestly. Like back, it was during COVID and such. So you'd basically walk into res, everyone's wearing masks in their room. You'd go into your room and you'd sit there and do nothing until either you had to do your online class or you went out and frolicked around outside for the 15 minutes before you realized there's absolutely nothing to do.
That's fair. Here's a quick question. So when you lived in Athabasca, were you sharing a room with someone, I suppose?
No.
Oh, you had your individual?
I was alone.
Okay, because I asked this because if you had two people, I was just wondering, do you wear face masks inside as well? Because that would be insane.
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I don't think you did.
And when you had like Marquise Hall, did they still have those circular tables then?
No.
Okay.
It was all the square ones.
Oh, like the rectangle ones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll be honest. I love those rectangle ones more than the circular ones. And the only reason for that is when you're sitting on a circular one, you can't have your individual space and you'll end up sitting with another bunch of people. And that's, to me, I don't think I'm a great fan of sitting with a bunch of strangers, but I don't think you land up with an option if you live in Athabasca in the first place. So
Not
I
quite.
don't know. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. Okay, well, since you're from Moose Jaw, how do you feel like is the difference between the environments in Moose Jaw and here in the city?
I would say for Moose Jaw, it's a lot more country-like than here for sure. Like in Moose Jaw, you see quite a few cowboys down there. Those types of people. You can see all the lifted trucks and the 5 foot tall woman who's barely managing to get up there, and like it's far more country-ish. Like everything here is also like far more lush. I would say like there's a lot of trees around, but in Moose Jaw, it's all just kind of like
Mm-hmm.
industrial feeling in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like they both have their charms. Like
You like the tropical zone a little bit more, as I can see from your outfit clearly.
yeah, this is the
Typical Ken.
signature tropical outfit, I guess is how you'd put it.
Yeah, typical Ken to see on a normal, I guess, weekday, I suppose.
Only in the summer.
Uh-huh. And not in the winter. Apart from that, like what made you get into statistics or computer science or what we call as applied computing in the first place?
Primarily, what was for computer science was I used computers a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch when I was really young. Like parents got me my first computer. I think I was 7 or
Mm-hmm.
something, and basically since then I had just kind of been using it. I was really addicted to it when I was younger, but it's calmed down some. So
Mm-hmm.
I was always pretty good with them, so it just kind of felt like the right next step for
Mm-hmm.
me. And then for statistics, I'm just pretty decent with numbers, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I like math pretty well. So I didn't really want to do a math degree, but I didn't really
Mm-hmm.
want to just do computer science. So data analytics just kind of felt like the perfect medium where it's computer science and statistics.
Mm-hmm. I know that you're very knowledgeable specifically in computer science stuff. So I kind of want to like dig into that a little bit more. So when you say you like stuff about computer, what was it specifically that you enjoyed about the computer? And what do you think is something about the computer kind of realm that people don't know too much about and they should?
Well, mainly the thing that I enjoyed back like when I was younger was modding.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like the hardware stuff. I mean like game modding, like ROM hacks and that sort of fun stuff. Because
Mm-hmm.
I remember at age like 9 or 10, me and my two of my buddies, we were trying to figure out how to mod Minecraft, and that was like a month-long affair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess the thing that many people don't realize when it comes to that sort of stuff, like modding, especially, just how much stuff you actually had to do back then to get this working, because this
Mm-hmm.
was before like everyone and their cat knew how to basically do it. So like you'd be trying to find mods and you find like the sketchiest mod site ever. There's like gambling ads. You click it and you get the nice roulette wheel of whether it's going to be something safe or
Mm-hmm.
something a bit less family friendly.
Mm. So then when you speak about computers, and now we know obviously like we know AI has recently been taking over, for like quite a few things. So what do you feel about AI? Like what's your opinion? What's your take, whether it be something that you feel like is taking over a lot of the daily tasks that we do or like our knowledge of our computer sense? What do you feel on that?
I feel that AI can be a very scary thing for, especially for things like like even computers and that, because even here at the university, you see that AI is just kind of doing the job the coder was once supposed to do. Like
Mm,
people just they just snap their finger and boom, there's your code basically. And you either just got to know how to troubleshoot it or you just keep asking it until it does it right.
mm,
Um,
yeah. Oh,
no, I was
sorry.
just I was just gonna say,
Sorry.
what was the other part of the
Sorry.
question?
Also, if you had to define AI, okay, for somebody, what do you feel like is the underlying definition of AI?
I would say the definition of AI would be a computer or program trained to solve a problem as correctly as it possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, the definition of correctness is kind of a topic related thing, and some people it's probably philosophical, but
If you could, okay, I have a quick question here. So, if like 5 years ago, if you could see AI kind of taking over a lot of the things that it is today, would you still have studied computer science, or would
yes,
you would have?
I would have.
Okay, okay. And
I
is there a
I
reason for that?
I just like computers.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you ever think about the future? When I speak about the future, it's like the job prospects. Does that ever worry you?
I'll admit I have been worried before, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I believe that there will always be a job for a programmer somewhere. Like, maybe not in the traditional sense anymore, but AI, you can't always guarantee it'll be able to keep itself going perfectly fine.
Apart from this, though, because you're in your third year, correct? Like for computer
Yes,
science?
finished my third year.
Yes. Have you ever thought of doing the internship program for your computer science?
I actually applied for that program and I got in. I had a couple of successful interviews. Well,
Mm-hmm.
not successful. I had a couple of interviews. I didn't get a job, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for those who did. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great opportunity for them.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like everybody should be, or should at least try to be part of that internship program to at least give it a shot? And do you see the advantages and disadvantages of doing the internship program after you actually get a job?
I'd say you have nothing to lose by trying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you get it, excellent. That's experience for you. If you don't, well, you just finish your degree a year earlier and you just got to kind of make up for it in another way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the internship program, I guarantee you, the students coming out of here with that, they'll have infinitely more of a chance of getting like a decent job.
In the future, though, because you're still studying computer science and statistics, do you ever see yourself in a particular industry role or in a specific industry area?
I'd love to be a researcher, honestly. Like,
Oh,
I'd love to be one of the people who's like making the AI,
mm,
truthfully, or like, if not making them, like able to use the AI as effectively as possible. Like,
hmm.
I think that's cool as hell. Cool as hell.
Did you ever have a chance to, because you're interested in research, did you ever have a chance to maybe go through any of the research papers that involves AI by any chance?
Well, I guess I never mentioned, but I'm actually taking on an honors project for that, and it's actually about deep learning, specifically a field of AI.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you kind of like, of course, I've kind of taken some looks at it. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
paper I need to view for the current step I'm at, it's basically like a broad explanation of a certain problem I need to solve, which is identification, basically. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I training a computer to identify, say, a person or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you kind of need to look through papers just to kind of see what exactly you're dealing with, but like, outside of recreationally, no, because there's just too much jargon.
In layman terms, though, if you had to kind of piece together, let's say, deep learning, AI, neural networks, how do you think you'll piece them together for anybody who's very new to this field or someone who has absolutely no idea of what this is?
I would say, well, we kind of went over AI in an earlier definition, but just to
Mm-hmm.
reiterate,
Yeah.
AI is essentially training a computer or a machine to be able to do a job as efficiently and correctly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Deep learning is essentially training said AI to examine every aspect of a problem and come up with a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And then neural networks, I'm not quite familiar with. I haven't had too much experience with those.
Mm-hmm.
So, but from what I gather, it's essentially it is training an AI to examine a series of nodes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
And
have layers of them. And
yeah,
I think the more the layers, the stronger
something
your.
similar to a brain, from what I
Yes.
remember.
Yes. So it's more like in a normal human brain, you have your biological brain, but with neural networks, it's the brain of the networks almost. And
Yeah.
as you said, it's the nodes. So
The synapses, its nodes.
yes, yes, that's right. So because you're so like, I feel like you're doing a project in deep learning, what made you actually fall in that field in the first place?
I just like AI.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
well, I like computers.
Mm-hmm.
I also like AI, but I thought it'd be something neat to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a reason. I just had the opportunity and I decided I'd take it.
And this is for your honors thesis, correct?
Yes.
Okay, for your fourth year?
Yeah.
Ooh, very exciting. Have you ever explored different research areas in computer science before you did this project?
Yes, actually. In my third year, I did a simulation on basically I had to program a development of a crystal.
Mm,
Essentially, you would have a bunch of loose, I believe they were called, I think they were atoms. I forget the exact term I used anymore for it in the
mm,
paper, but
mm,
it was essentially you had a bunch of loose monomers, that's what it was.
mhm.
Loose monomers floating in a solution, and you want to simulate the development of a crystal through different stages by solving a series of differential equations.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like you use mathematical models to, I suppose, code the simulation.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay. And then because you're doing kind of like the two realms of both computer science and statistics, right? It's kind of like two things put together, which makes it, of course, applied computing.
Yeah.
Um, how important do you feel like computer science and statistics is in the world today?
Well, computer science is, of course, very important given the fact that AI is running rampant.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, most people are using AI to do basically everything, but like computer science is, I will admit, it's probably not as important as it once was just due to said AI, but
Mm,
I'd still say there's some purpose. Like, you kind of still need a developer and such.
hmm,
As for statistics, I would say that's very important,
hmm.
given the fact AI literally needs statistics in order to be able to, say, interpret the best thing, given the fact that you perform a change in your algorithm and the AI needs to know, okay, I need to do this change, don't change that.
Mm. Can I just bring my perspective into this? Like I just feel like these days a lot of people say that AI is going to take like our jobs, it can do a lot of things that software engineers can do. I actually largely disagree with that, because yes, your AI model can do code for you. Yes, if you give it a guideline, it will create that code base for you. But like, does it actually know how to integrate it if you have a very large code base? I don't think so.
No.
If you wanted to use a specific API, does it know how to deal with that? I don't think so. So it really depends. Yes, maybe at some points in the future, yes, maybe your AI model can be very smart, it's very efficient, but I still do think like the intricacies of what you actually want to do and what you have on your plate can never be solved by like an actual AI. Is
Yeah.
just what I feel.
Well,
So yeah, sorry.
sorry, I was just going to say,
Hmm.
I was told a very interesting perspective the other day, and
Yeah.
it kind of relates to what you said. AI is essentially just, it's like an addict. It's essentially just searching for dopamine in every single way possible. And like that's basically how AI works. Like hallucinations and that's just AI trying to get as much dopamine as possible. It doesn't care whether it's right or wrong. It'll just lie basically to say that, okay, it's this.
Yeah.
Like it'll do whatever it can to just get that dopamine.
True. And I also feel like a lot of the information that it actually gives, and just this is just apart from like giving code base or whatever, it doesn't even give you the actual information that exists in the first place.
No.
Right. So, like, yes, it does create that like hallucination kind of illusion in your brain where you feel like something exists, but it doesn't really. So, yeah, I just feel like that's something that's not said enough. And it's just, I feel like these days a lot of social media platforms kind of picture in your brain that yes, we don't need software engineers anymore, but I really feel the opposite of
Yeah,
what we actually
I
have.
can
So,
see that.
yeah. Anyways, a little bit sidetracked right now, but speaking about your statistics classes, which one do you feel is the most underrated and the overrated classes? And I feel like I know the answer to this.
um, I would say for underrated, most of the high level stats, honestly, is really fun to take. Like I took three during my third year. I took a course on linear regression, which I would say that was a very tough class, but it does
Oh,
teach you a lot.
and that's
I
344.
Yep,
Okay,
344.
sorry to cut you off.
I took a course on multivariate analysis, 346. Our professor, he was a real chap, I must say. He was a good feller. And we took one on, what was 345's topic again?
Stochastic
No.
processes. Oh, sorry, that's 341. Sorry, Dr. Schmiller, we love you. Sorry. Wait, design and experiments, I
Yes,
think.
right.
Yes.
Design and analysis of
Yes.
experiments. Right.
Yes.
And that, I would say, I had the most fun with 345. The professor we had for that, as you said, Professor Schmerler,
Great. We love
great
you.
dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved him. And what about computer science? Underrated, overrated?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, given the fact I'm in data analysis, I have to say for underrated, most of the like introductory data analysis course, like 318, particularly intro to data analysis, that course, despite the fact like you don't really need it for most software development roles, it's kind of neat to see, say, like how AI actually is able to do certain things of its kind. Like the professor we had, he would introduce the concept and explain how it's relevant within the field of AI. And for most overrated, I would say some of the project courses, like no, not to diss the professors who teach that, but I just mean like the with how things are, the courses where you have to like design a project from scratch, code it from scratch, present it from scratch, that's gone. Those days are gone. The thing just kind of needs like an overhaul, I would say. Like it's just not the modern programmer anymore. That's not how they are.
Okay, that's fair. And what do you think is a class that every comp sci major should take for a 400 level class, if you've taken any, and a 300 level class?
I have not taken any 400s,
Okay.
but for 300s, I would say algorithms actually.
Oh, 360.
Yeah, 360.
I see. Interesting. Is there a reason why you feel that way?
I would say that 360 kind of teaches you like more efficient programming. Like because
True.
you're taught, usually in most low level courses, you're taught one method, and more often than not that method is just kind of
Fair.
it's crap.
Fair.
So what the algorithms course is trying to do is trying to make you think, okay, is there any better ways to do this? And usually there is.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep. We're going to shift gears a little bit here. Have you ever done a part-time job while studying?
Yes.
And are you comfortable to share like where you've worked and how did you balance your time?
Yeah, I was working as a like a grocer at a grocery store. I was one of the I guess it's a stalker. I don't know what it is. I guess it was produce.
Okay.
Like culling and that sort of fun stuff. It was more so just like a fine balance. Like the boss I had for that job, he's great. He's a nice guy. Like I enjoyed my time there, but like it's just kind of a hard thing to do because you feel like overwhelmed with your classes, and then you have a part-time job there on top. So you kind of feel like something has to give, like whether it's hours working, hours studying, or like sleep or stuff like that. Like it kind of just feels like it's very hard to keep things balanced, but usually you can weather the storm. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, and I also feel like sometimes when you have so many things on your plate, something has to be sacrificed.
Yeah.
Whether that be your sleep, whether that be your food, or whether that be a little bit of studying or a little bit of working, it's hard to balance sometimes when you have like so many things on your plate is what I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. And do you feel like every student, like from your perspective, because you've done a part-time job while studying, do you feel like every person should have this experience of juggling their time once in their student life? Do you think that's necessary to kind of build them?
I would say no, honestly. Like,
Okay.
I'd say the main thing that just teaches is discipline. Like, it teaches you how to manage your time, how to handle under stress, but you don't need a job to be able to, like, say, do all that well. Like, I handled all of my stuff perfectly fine before I did a part-time job while doing school.
Yeah, I think in one of the podcasts, like we had one of the guests and he was a physics major, and we spoke very intensively about discipline. We spoke about how university is actually all you need really just to have discipline in your life, because
I would agree.
yeah, like I just feel like there's so many things that you miss out on if you don't enjoy your student life as much or if you don't actually put yourself out there as much. So it's just a perspective I had, but anyways, changing gears again one more time. So in university, what do you think is a service that's very underrated? And when I speak about service, like whether that be the the Pride Center, the Wellness Center, or I don't know. If you know more centers than me, I don't know quite too much.
I would say the libraries.
Ooh, why?
Because often those libraries, like for example Murray Library, it's got like the math and stats help center, it's got the
Mm,
English, like the English writing center,
mm,
like it's got all these centers to help you with your courses. Like I see quite a few undergraduate students there, which is great, but like so many people, they kind of just struggle there. But like the university has resources allocated to this. And like another thing from the university is like the books they have there. Like
mm.
they got all these old textbooks. Some of them, like usually you can find probably textbooks you need for a course,
Yes,
like
yes.
maybe an older
Yeah.
edition, but they'll often work because newer editions, they'll change like three things and upcharge $100.
Mm-hmm. True,
And
true.
like another thing was like just recreational reading, because like they got books on books there. Like you go in there and there's just like books on every topic. Like, oh wow, look, there's a book on like Greek Roman relations back in whatever century BC
I'm actually
or
glad
AD.
Oh, right, AD, yeah, because it's the more modern one. Right. Okay, because you spoke about libraries, what's your most favorite library here at the university?
Probably Murray.
Is there a
Like
reason for that as well? Apart from
not real,
the
just
right, okay.
just the general like. I find it a fairly quiet place to work. I understand some people don't, but like usually I just throw a pair of headphones in and get to work. But like I also know things like the health science library, a lot of people love that, and I do see why. It's a very nice place.
Mm-hmm. That just reminds me of something. Are you into like reading books, by the way?
I am.
Okay, that reminds me of something. So we actually, for all of our guests in our podcast, we give them gift cards. And I have two gift cards here for you. So one's from Crichton Books and one's from Westgate Books. And
Oh,
I guess I'll just give them to
you're
you.
tugging on my heartstrings.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
We
But
might we
they're,
might we might have to get the mop and bucket, pick up the tears off the floor.
I mean, sure, yeah, we could do that, unless you're very emotional. But I'm glad to have emotional guests on my podcast. But yeah, no, those two bookstores are in fact in the city. We have one from Westgate Books, and they're located on Louise Avenue, and they basically sell secondhand books at half the retail price. They also have a little cat in their store, so if you're into cats, I think that's a lovely place to visit. The owners are Nikki and Luke, so they're the one who actually sponsored these gift cards for our guests. They've been in the city since I think 1972, but they've obviously like changed owners quite a few times, and the current owners are Nikki and Luke. For Crichton Books, they're located on the 20th Street West. They also sell secondhand books at half the retail price. They're opened actually quite recently in 2019, so they're relatively new in the city, and both of them are local businesses. They're not associated with any chains, so if you're into books, it's a great place to visit, and highly recommend anyone in the audience to visit them as well. Great place, and I really hope that you enjoy, like if you kind of visit them at some point.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you
welcome.
again.
Okay, going back to our conversation. Sorry, we got a bit sidetracked. So, is there a library that you feel like is a place that you wouldn't go to, especially when you're studying and you need high amounts of focus? I'll tell you, me, like from my perspective, I cannot study in Murray Library because I feel like the first and the second floor is just too noisy in a normal, regular
Well,
school
that I
day.
usually go to the fourth floor.
Oh,
Like
okay,
I don't go to those lower floors. I would agree with you there. It's a bit too
too much.
noisy.
I also feel like if I went there during the middle of the day, it's hard to find a seat on the third or fourth floor.
Yeah.
So my go-to is either the law library or the science library. That's kind of my go-to, but I feel like a lot of people say the science library is too quiet, like especially on the third floor. So,
Hmm.
I mean, I understand why people would not prefer to go there, but just for me, because I like focus.
You're
So
afraid of a little sound deprivation?
yes, I'm like, I don't need a sound to like, tamper my focus.
Oh, here, I thought you want to hear the voices.
No, I'm good. Yeah, but no, tell me, what's your not most favorite library?
Well, I don't really go to that many more libraries, but like I would say honestly the education library. Like I find the
That's so
education,
far
yeah, that's the reason. It's so out of the way.
away.
Like
What? Dude, no. When it's snowing, how do you walk there? It's
I
cold.
tie my boots and I take one step outside and wait for the snow to cover me in a snowbank and I walk all the way there sheltered.
No, I think that's a bad idea because I feel like for me, I just feel like I slip too much on the floor. And the one on education, like it's such a huge, steep little like walking pathway that you need to go through, and I don't like that. So I'm a little against that, but I'm happy that you like that place. I've been there, I
Oh,
think, a
I
few
don't like
times.
it. I thought you said you.
Oh, sorry, don't like it. I agree. Chop chop. I agree. You don't like it. Just say it again. You don't like it.
I don't. I do not.
Okay, we get it. He doesn't like it. I agree then. I agree. Because I thought you said you like it, and I was like,
No, I do not like it
okay,
because I
good.
find it too far out of the way.
Yes, I agree. That's one library that I feel like is very far away, but I feel like it's quite huge though. But I don't think they have like large study rooms, which is another thing that throws me off, kind of. Yeah, it's just a me thing though.
Yeah.
Okay, apart from this though, I forgot my question. So give me a moment. So, like going back into our conversation here, how important do you feel is education in a person's life? This is a deep question.
Yeah, that is a very deep subject, as deep as wells.
Dude.
I would say for education, it's not really what you learn.
Mm.
Well, it's not like the subject you learn, it's what you learn while learning the subject per se. Like,
Wow, that was deep.
not, yeah, it is deep. With better phrasing, I would say it's more important the skills you learn than what you actually learned from school. Like, you could learn 1,000 subjects all you want, but if you don't know how to apply the subject, it's useless. Like, you may learn, say, how to like fix a car,
Mm.
but if all you ever have is motorcycles or something, well, a motorcycle is different than a car, but the skills you had from a car kind of carry over, and it's kind of the same thing with like, say, physics and math. Like,
Mm.
you can learn, say, a bunch of physics, but of course it's all built on math. But then you could go and say something like biology. Well, it's a very different subject, but you kind of learned all these skills, so now you can probably learn biology a whole hell of a lot easier than you could have before.
Mm.
Like, it all just kind of comes with, like, as said, the aforementioned discipline, or like perseverance, or just like even the failures you have doing your schooling. That's everything there. You kind of just learn
Mm.
exactly what to do and how to do it.
Okay, because you relate education to a lot of like skills takeaway and of course like growth and development, do you ever feel like life experience can be a substitute for education?
Yes.
You feel so?
Yeah.
So you don't feel like education is a need for every person in every person's life?
No. Like,
Okay.
why would you go and say like get a further education if you say worked down a mine?
But don't you feel like with education, you get exposed to far more different disciplines than what you would in just a limited practical setting?
Yes, probably, but like, once again though, like, if you what would the purpose of exposure to such disciplines be if you have no use for them? Like, what would, say, I don't know, like, what would a mechanic do with something like philosophy?
I don't know. To be very honest, I don't think I have an answer to that question, but I do feel like it gives you a chance to develop those logical conversations. Like, if it's just me though, I feel like if a mechanic just learned everything about the mechanics or everything they had to learn for industry work and they didn't do those extra electives or those extra courses, I don't feel like they would, not that I'm saying people won't have common sense, I'm sure they do, but I don't think they would be able to be exposed to those other different disciplines that they might actually end up changing their careers to, which I feel like is rare, but I think it just gives you that little bit of exposure and that little bit of kind of like an open door to different terminologies that you probably didn't know before, kind of thing. But this is just me though, it's just what I feel.
Well, like, there's a good point there. Yes, like, it is important to gain the other perspectives, but like, most people usually, if they have a job, they're either if they ever become unhappy with it, usually they'll actively go out of their way to search for new experiences. But
Mm.
if you're happy with your job and you love what you do, what's
Mm.
the purpose of like
Mm.
searching out something that, like, Like, what? Why would you seek when you know what you found? I guess to get
That's
even more philosophical.
I think that's fair. It's a really good point. I like having discussions like that, but I think it's also that if a person doesn't will to do something, they wouldn't do it in the first place, which is why we have those electives in university or whatever, like courses and institutions, extra courses from your obviously like the course that you're trying to pursue, because it's kind of like they're giving you a chance to learn about something that you wouldn't do
Otherwise,
otherwise. This is just, I don't know what I feel.
well, I'll kind of agree with you there. Like, even in my university career, I took lots of electives that I didn't see myself doing. Like,
Mm,
but like, I took them once and I kind of just never found an interest in them again, and they just
mm,
kind of sat there. Like, that's usually how it wound up for me. Was I would take a course and it would just kind of, I wouldn't remember much of it later on. Like, it all just kind of seems pointless, I guess, in a way.
mm-hmm.
But like maybe there's people there who will
Mm.
take a course like that and they'll realize, holy shit, I like this.
Yeah, probably. Quite
And maybe
possible,
there's
yeah.
people there who will take a course they thought they'd like and say, wow, this is boring.
Why did I take this? Um, just shifting gears again one more time. Do you have like a thing that you could do for the rest of your life? Like if you had to do just one thing for the rest of your life, what do you think that would be?
Breathe.
Apart from that, like an actual hobby.
I would say computers. Like
Okay,
I
anything with computers.
yeah, like
Okay.
most things with computers in general are just a vast subject outside of even programming. Like I was like looking at, for example, like servers and that. Like I was tempted to build like say a home lab or something. Wow, look at all these resources. Isn't that cool? Or
Mm-hmm.
like say you want to do something like soft well, that's programming, I guess. I was
Yeah.
gonna say software related, like or even well, or hardware design, I guess maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the kind of computer related.
Just looking back at like your 4 or 5 years, sorry, 4 years of or 3 years of education, what you've kind of done so far, um, if you could go back and kind of like change one thing or add on to any of your experiences, so it's not necessarily something you want to change, it could be something you want to add on to, what do you think that would be?
Um, I would say I wish I was more social in my first couple of years.
I
Like
see.
the first year during COVID, I kind of understand that I couldn't have been really due to the whole
Mm,
mess that it was.
mm,
But like for basically my second year, I was just kind of alone.
mm,
Like I was at the university. I'd basically come here, I'd go to class, and I'd leave. Like
mm,
I didn't talk to anyone basically. Like I didn't see anyone. Like it
mm,
just kind of all it was just monotonous.
mm.
Like
I see. Yep.
that's what I would say I would change was that I just kind of wish I had cared a bit more about that
Mm-hmm.
more than
Mm-hmm.
I do now. Well,
Well, I feel like you're also more social now. I feel. I don't think I knew you
ooh,
before, so there's no comparison kind of like coefficient I have there, but it's just that I feel like the fact that I'm talking to you, it just means that you're social. Like,
yeah,
I don't think I would have known you in your second year because I assume we obviously were not social as
probably
much, but
not. No.
yeah, yeah. Okay, fair. Okay, so this is for every single guest that comes on my podcast. You get to ask me, sorry, a golden question. So
Ooh,
you get to pick whatever question you have for me, and I have no choice and I have to answer it. So it better be a good question.
ooh, that's a very very interesting idea.
Better be a good one.
If you were to go back and if you were to do something other than computer science,
Okay.
like what would you have done?
Mm, oh, my stomach is hungry. Um, good question. I'm just thinking. Um, See, I have different answers depending on different perspectives. Like if I was thinking of interest wise, I might have just done like religious studies and philosophy. That I could have just done that. But if I was thinking of job perspective wise, I think I would have done maybe engineering because when I look back, I feel like I wasn't exposed to quite a few engineering concepts, which I feel like most of us are not in high school. But I think over the course of the years, I've kind of developed kind of like respect and reverence for everyone who's doing engineering. So
It's a very tough subject.
yeah, I feel like I'm that kind of person since high school who likes doing challenging stuff, and to me sometimes it comes in my head and it makes me feel like it's surprising that I didn't pick engineering in university. And I don't think engineering was ever a thing I wanted to do, and it was very much out of the equation when I was picking my major. um, and honestly, I don't think I thought too much about my major. I just thought about what I like, and I did it, and I've been enjoying it so far. So, I'm just kind of winging it and following the flow. But yeah, I think that's kind of my answer. So if it's not job perspective, I think religious studies and philosophy, because I love being philosophical and thinking about things too much. I'm like an overthinker sometimes.
I think that's everyone.
That's true.
Overthinking everything.
Overthinking everything. Yeah, I don't like that too much, but I
It
guess
happens.
it happens. Yeah. And yeah, job perspective wise, maybe engineering. I don't really know what specific engineering, but maybe along that lines. Do you have another golden question?
Nope, I
Okay.
think I'm golden.
Okay, good. If you're golden, I'm golden too. Okay, so with that, I'm just gonna say thank you so much, Ken, for making it to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm
It
so
was
glad that I was able to track you down on Discord and find you out. I will tell everybody it is quite hard to track Ken, so please do not try because I feel like you're going to fail anyway, so maybe don't try. Anyways, but I'm sure after today, Ken is just going to up his level in his tracking game and
Yeah,
maybe.
you'll never see that Discord account active again.
Yeah, you'll never see it again, and maybe it's going to be a new username with a brand new face. Anyways, so with that being said, I'm just going to say thank you so much, Ken, for making it to the podcast today, for your time, for your efforts, and for sharing a lot of your knowledge here with me. I feel like you're one of the most knowledgeable guests that we've kind of had on this podcast so far, so really glad to have you. Do you have any last words before we end the podcast today?
Nope.
We're all good? We're golden.
I think the show time's over.
Showtime's over, guys. Okay, with that being said, if you have comments in the comment section below for Ken, and if you want him to answer any questions, feel free to mention it in the comment section below. I'll also go ahead and co-respond to them if I get some time here. And with that being said, we're just going to end the podcast here today. So bye, guys.